Welcome to another episode of Ridiculous Website Ideas. We're back. I'm Alex, and this is the guy who cuts his own hair.
Oh, we're talking about that, are we?
Yes, we are. Is that
because the topic we're talking about today is actually about websites.
Right. Okay. Cool. How is it?
I'll tell you what, as a little bonus, why don't we talk about that topic at the end of the video?
Okay, sure. Absolutely.
Because the topic I really want to talk about now,
Yes.
one we get a lot of actually, but when we hear from clients for the first time, this is what we hear.
Yeah.
I want my website to look different so I stand out. I want the wow factor.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, we certainly come across that a lot, especially people who are more creative, but it really depends on what different looks like, right?
Yeah.
Are you interested in making money or are you interested in being different, right?
Well, the different we want to talk about is design. It's having the colors on point. It's having animations in the right places.
Yeah,
I want the bells and whistles.
Flash, right?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
don't even work on phones.
That's a topic for another ridiculous
Sure.
website ideas, I think, because there's a lot to unpack in that one.
Flash is the evil, guys.
Yeah. But the point being is people want pretty websites, but they don't sell. That's the problem. They don't sell. We need to remember that websites aren't designed to be fancy brochures. They're actually an online communication tool. And so I think therefore clarity is really important.
Yep.
Clarity is the name of the game, as you like to say.
Yeah, and I guess it just needs to follow a certain communications rules, right? I mean, if you just want to be pretty for pretty's sake, or you want to do some kind of self-expression, so on and so forth, yeah, do that. But just know that your website won't be designed in a way that is conversion driven or will give you any results or make you any money, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to say one thing as well, right? Like beautiful websites, like whenever you go to a web designer or a marketing agency, like pretty and beautiful and graphically balanced and right text, right colors, right logos, so on and so forth. They're almost a given. Like if you go to a modern web agency and they don't give you something that looks good, is not even, we're not even talking, right? It's just not the deciding factor of whether or not you're gonna have marketing success.
Yeah, absolutely. With websites, I like to think of it kind of like a newspaper almost. Up the top, you have the most important, eye-catching, heart-grabbing information. And this actually, by the way, this is coming from someone who used to be a journalism student. So there you go. But in the journalism world, particularly newspapers and online journalism, the journalist spends a lot of effort and time and energy focusing on the top part of the article because you want the most important information that really relates to people.
Yeah.
And so I guess talking about websites, people come to your website because they have a problem and they need a solution. And that solution obviously comes from, us as the people that are providing the service.
Yeah.
And so, that needs to really hone into what that problem is.
Absolutely. Newspaper is a very good example. I mean, when you think about newspapers, they've been around for, 100 years, a century, whatever. And the format itself actually hasn't changed much, right? They focus so much on the placements of the text because once again, it follows communications rules, how the eyeball works. It works in Z shape. So you always go from the top, you come across and then you come to the middle and then you scan again, right?
Yeah.
If that stuff has worked for centuries and has engaged an audience for that long, we should mimic the same thing. Why reinvent the wheel for the sake of being different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I like what you said before. Designs, colors, styles, even branding. They have a little bit of a part to play in the website.
Big part.
Sorry, I should say that. Big part. But
you like your design. I mean, so let's not understate that, right?
Absolutely. But that cannot ever compromise the messaging in the website as well. 100%. That needs to be on point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that most people are missing out on.
Yeah.
Because people coming to us and say, we want to rebrand, we want to change colors, all that sort of stuff. But hardly do we have people coming to us and say, hey, we think we need to find better words to describe our business, or we need to work on our copywriting. It's always like an afterthought.
Yeah.
But we need to change that. We need to change the conversation. It's not about the design anymore. Design is a given.
Yeah.
But we really need to hone into what kind of words you want to use so that people can engage with your business instantly.
Yep, absolutely. Let's talk about the Z shape formation that you're talking about with websites, because
Like when you're doing your hair like Z shape. Zzz. Bad joke. I know.
I love the segue, man. That's really
not
cool.
laughing.
We did say we were going to talk about it at the end, didn't we?
Yeah. Our cameraman actually gave me that idea, so blame him. His name is Liam Murphy.
So yeah, talk about the zzz. Yes, I do cut my own hair.
Okay.
I discovered back last year in the first lockdown, when they decided to sadly close down barbers and hairdressers, I was absolutely shattered. I was sitting at home for 6 months wondering, why is my hair still growing? So I bought a pair of clippers and started shaving. Actually, I started shaving my whole head.
Okay.
Then I got sick of looking like Baldy, so I started shaving a bit of a shape around my head and just left the top and started shaving the sides and the back.
You're doing an amazing job.
And now I start clipping the top as well, so I just use a higher setting.
There you go, mate.
There you go. Got to be creative when times are tough.
Yeah, that's right. When you don't have a job as a web designer, because everybody wants design, not copywriting, you have another job to go to.
So people in Sydney, if you're struggling and you can't go to the barber or the hairdresser, buy a pair of clippers, do the zzz. And that is where we're going to leave Ridiculous Website Ideas, episode 2. See you next time.